Yes, finally. NBA free agency. Now, if you didn't see my community post yesterday, you would know that not yesterday, but the day prior, I actually made a free agency video. But my stupid head forgot that free agency actually started yesterday as you're watching this video. Oh my god, I do apologize. So I decided just to take the day off, I guess. I finally get a day off. The only day off I think I've ever had in a very long time. I think I had days where I haven't posted videos, but even those days I was like sick or I like had my wisdom teeth pulled. So technically not really days off. So it was nice to just finally relax. So today we are going to be discussing the free agency. Make sure you check out not obviously yesterday's video, but the day prior to that we did a video game talking video. So if you're into video games, make sure you check out that video. And speaking of my last video, you guys went absolutely insane and crazy with the super comments. So in today's super shoutouts, thank you so much to Davis. Thank you so much, Davis. I've been seeing your, support a lot in the past couple of weeks, handful of videos. I cannot thank you enough. You guys have been going crazy, and I cannot thank you enough, even just for, liking videos, subscribing, commenting, even watching a video of mine. I cannot thank you guys enough. Also, thank you to Ben. Yes, there's more than one today in today's super shoutout. I think it's super funny. I know this is kind of like a super corny thing, but again, this is just me showing, support back to you guys for giving me it. And I cannot thank you guys so much for this. Thank you so much, Ben. And obviously, it wouldn't be a super shout out without mentioning Blake. Thank you so much again. You've been going absolutely insane. I cannot thank you enough. Again, you guys have made making content way more fun, way more exciting, way more involvement. I just love just hearing what you guys have to say, and it just makes me feel so happy. So thank you guys so much. But yes, make sure you leave a like on tonight's video if you are super excited for what happened in free agency. If your team did good in free agency, if your team did bad in free agency, and make sure you comment down below what team you think did the best so far, at least day one. And yeah, I think that's everything. Make sure you subscribe, obviously, and let's jump in right into tonight's video. So with day one of NBA free agency already being done and over with, a lot of pieces were, put in place for a pretty good percentage of the NBA free agency in the first day/night. Now I know throughout the day, as you're watching this video, there are going to be more things popping up. Maybe I'll do like a live stream in the next few days and just talk about what other things happened, but as of right now, there were a lot of things that went down. So at least for me and my free agency sort of day, I was mostly on Hoop Central. They mostly take the information from, Woj, Shams, everyone. They take it from everyone and they post about it. I think this was actually the first domino to fall in NBA free agency what was yesterday? Monday. It was Lonzo Ball. Yes, and arguably maybe my favorite piece that fell yesterday. Lonzo Ball signs with the Chicago Bulls 4-year, $85 million contract, which I actually thought was honestly not that bad for Lonzo Ball. Obviously, Lonzo Ball being a player who can go on next season averaging nearly 20 points per game, being one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. I think last season he shot around 39% from three. If he can do that while even contributing more and, even getting more work on his game in the offseason this year, Lonzo Ball is looking like he could finally start becoming that player we all thought he could be. Now, keep in mind that also they still have Zach LaVine, they still have Vucevic, they still have Kobe White. This team is starting to finally look like a team, and I love it. I absolutely love it when the Bulls are good, and I think it's good for the league. They are obviously one of the most popular teams in the NBA. This is going to be a lot of fun. Now, also with the signing with the Bulls, Bulls. Alex Caruso, yes, guard Alex Caruso also signing with the Chicago Bulls. And if you're asking me, Chicago, as of right now, might have one of the best, complete guard lineups we have seen in the entire NBA with Lonzo, Caruso, you have Zach LaVine, you have Kobe White. Sure, maybe not all mature enough yet, maybe besides Zach LaVine, but wow, in a handful of years, which all these guys are under contract for a couple years, I think Zach LaVine might need to extend his contract in the next year or two. This is going to be a very good, guard lineup so they can throw out there defensively, offensively. It's going to be dope. So yes, I'm super excited about what's going to go down in Chicago next year. Very excited. Also, kind of a big move, or I guess something happened. Mike Conley re-signs with the Utah Jazz for a 3-year deal, which it's kind of a lot. It's $68 million over the next 3 years, which, I think it's kind of pricey, but again, it's Mike Conley in Utah. It's not like Utah's really going to be attracting some big time starting point guard free agents, I think. So this is probably their best case scenario into overpaying for a guard. I think Mike Conley played his role extremely well last year. Again, I think he averaged around 16 points per game, vastly improving his three-point shooting. I think he shot over 40% from three last year, which is crazy. Very good perimeter defending guard as well. Very smart player. Almost like a perfect pick guy to play alongside Donovan Mitchell. So I like the pickup. I can see how you could probably be against it or too much money, this and that, but hey, it's Utah. They're trying to run it back. They're trying to make another number one seed run. Should be very interesting to see that. Also, some other things. Will Barton returns to the Denver Nuggets. DeMar Jr. for a 4-year, $72 million contract. Re-signs with the Dallas Mavericks. That is a hefty load to pay out against with DeMar Jr. Definitely a little bit again of an overpay, but with Luka Doncic, you definitely need to put as many pieces around him as you can. You don't really want to give anything up. You want to make Luka happy, and if Luka comes back from his great Olympic play to no team at all, he's gonna be mad. So you want to make him happy. This is probably the best case scenario for the Dallas Mavericks. Boban also resigns with the Dallas Mavericks. Another sort of big domino. Kyle Lowry, yes. Very interesting scenario what happened with Kyle Lowry. I know me and a lot of other people thought that the 76ers was actually number one request place for Kyle Lowry to go. But it turns out in the end, it doesn't really matter because Kyle Lowry ends up going to the Miami Heat, which apparently him and Jimmy Butler actually have like a big, friendship that at least I didn't really know about or hear about until, the day it happened, which is really cool. So it was actually a sign and trade. So the Raptors actually got some assets back, which is kind of cool. And with Kyle Lowry being in a sign and trade scenario, he signed a new contract worth $90 million over the next 3 years. So that's $30 million a year for Kyle Lowry. Now, is that a good financial, burden to put on yourself on a team like that? It's pretty obvious that Miami, even with good young players like Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero and Precious Achua, it seems like they are still in a win-now scenario, which I don't know how I really feel about it. Obviously, with teams like, again, Milwaukee, the Nets, even Philadelphia, are they good enough to be in a win-now scenario? They definitely do believe so. So they end up getting Kyle Lowry for $30 million a year, which is interesting. Jimmy Butler also signs a humongous extension to stay on the team, which again, they're going to be paying Jimmy Butler upwards of $40+ million when he's turning, 35, 36. Even Jimmy Butler, who isn't a good jump shooter, who really focuses a lot on scoring from the inside, playmaking, defense, athleticism to a point. How well is that going to look in a couple years while you're paying him $45 million a year? I have no idea, but hey, that's Miami's problem. I don't want to say they are blowing their money just to blow their money, but I just hope Pat Riley and them know what they're doing. Oh, Yes, Jared Allen re-signs with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But get this, a 5-year contract. I don't know why that was so interesting to me, but it is a 5-year, $100 million contract for Jared Allen. Now, if you're Jared Allen and you see that the Cavs just drafted a big man in Evan Mobley, and a lot of people are saying that they can't play together, they can play together, cool. But in the scenario that it doesn't work out, you realize how trapped you're going to be in Cleveland with a long-term, big deal contract like that. This could end up being a Kevin Love 2.0 scenario where the contract just doesn't match up to anyone else, and he is just going to be stuck there on the bench for the next couple years, being super duper frustrated. So they have to have this work out, or this is going to be a fiasco. This is going to be a terrible time for the Cavs and Jared Allen. But let's just hope it works out for him and Evan Mobley, because if it doesn't, this could be going downhill very fast. So I thought it would be kind of cool to talk about some of the more interesting, let's say, contracts that went on yesterday, at least in my opinion. Cameron Payne and Bobby Portis. Now, I know what you're thinking. Two high energy, good bench pieces that could be, on a high payroll on a bad team, or on great championship caliber players that can just, increase the play of a lot of different teams. You think they'd be getting a bag for what they showed they could do in the playoffs, both of them. But Cameron Payne, only a 3-year, $19 million deal. That is like legitimately half of what I thought he would be making in this upcoming free agency. That is absolutely insane. He is, though, still re-signing with the Phoenix Suns, which is definitely a good thing. But man, he could have gotten such more money. I feel like even with the Phoenix Suns, he could have gotten a lot more money. Kind of interesting to see that. And also, Bobby Portis, I think, also signed like a 2-year, $9 million contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. Again, a guy who arguably was maybe the third best player at some points in time in the NBA Finals this year. So crazy, such a great bench piece. I think he definitely got robbed of a big time contract. He could regret it at some point in time, but hey, it is what it is. Also, another sort of big thing that happened, Chris Paul. Yes, Chris Paul plans and does re-sign with the Phoenix Suns. So, in my last video I talked about, that didn't get posted, I guess the sort of question mark that was around Chris Paul, but obviously not a big question mark, and he does end up re-signing. I think it was a 4-year deal worth $120 million, which, you gotta cross your fingers, knock on wood for Chris Paul, because let's hope he can stay healthy, he can stay consistent. Let's hope when he is 40, this contract goes into when Chris Paul is 40 years old, that he can still compete at a high level, because he's going to get paid like he can. So this is a scenario where maybe if you're a Phoenix with two still young good stars like Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, wouldn't you have rather done like a sign and trade scenario to the Pelicans for Lonzo Ball? You could have Lonzo, D-Book, Ayton, sign and trade for Chris Paul, Zion with Chris Paul with Zion teaming up together. I don't know. That would have been good. That would have been cool to see. But Chris Paul apparently really likes it. They're obviously playing alongside Coach Monty Williams, who was one of his coaches back in the day in New Orleans. Some other sort of big time signings that went on was obviously the $90 million contract Duncan Robinson got from the Miami Heat. Now again, you can definitely argue Miami was just throwing their money around because they had it. I think this is definitely overpaying Duncan Robinson to stay. I think obviously with the team of Miami, they desperately need 3-point shooting, so they overpaid to get one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. It seems to have paid off pretty well. Hopefully it turns out well for the Miami Heat and not just another first round you're giving him a 3-year, $42 million contract when I'm assuming and hoping that, your rebuild is starting to happen. You're going to start tanking, getting a draft picks, good players, but I'm not sure how I feel about this. The Zach Collins contract, though, I love that, though. Obviously, being a Portland fan, Zach Collins does have tremendous upside. I think he has great potential. He just needs to stay healthy. Also, ex-Blazer Gary Trent Jr. Resigns for a 3-year, $54 million contract with the Toronto Raptors. I am so happy for Gary. Gary was definitely one of my more favorite players on Portland. I'm very happy that he's getting a very good starting role that he definitely deserves. Working very hard for, can even get better. Great 3-D player. Very happy for Gary Trent Jr. But also on that point, the Portland Trailblazers re-sign Norman Powell to a 5-year, $90 million extension. Holy cow. Now, if you're outside of Portland, you're thinking, oh my god, why is Portland paying so much, this and that, this to just make him a small forward. I think this might be a setup to not only start Norman Powell, but start Norman Powell at the shooting guard position, and eventually, some point in time, trade CJ McCollum, which I have been on the CJ McCollum trade for years now. Hopefully with this 5-year contract extension worth a lot of money, that it doesn't happening. So, I mean, Siakam, Middleton, Siakam, maybe Sabonis, Ben Simmons, some sort of forward in the NBA who may not like their current situation, could turn out to be very favorable for Portland in a CJ McCollum trade further down in the future. And finally, on some LA Laker news, the Lakers bring back Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza as well, Kent Bazemore as well, 3 former Lakers, and also 3-point specialist Wayne Ellington. So definitely not making the team any younger, more athletic. Defenders are there, but are they too old to play defense? I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how well this team performs. Again, being a little bit older, I don't know whose decisions these are. Maybe it's Rob Pelinka, maybe it's the coach, maybe it's LeBron James himself asking for these players, but I think they really need to start looking into adding a little bit more athleticism, versatility, something like that, because as of right now, this team is going to be one of the oldest teams in maybe NBA history trying to win a title. It's going to be hard to sort of see this work out. I know Patty Mills, who as of right now, as I'm recording this video, hasn't signed with the team yet. They're trying to get him on the Lakers, which I don't know how much I really like that. Again, I think getting a better defensive guard, like again, you're losing Alex Caruso. You need someone there who can sort of do that job. I don't think obviously Patty Mills is really worth it that much, but hey, they're going to try to get him. Evan Fournier signs a 4-year contract with the New York Knicks, which, if you're a Knicks fan, I'm sure you're pissed off about, because it seems like this is just the Knicks using their cap space just to use their cap space. I know Evan Fournier is looking good in Olympic game basketball, but in the NBA, let's not forget that he is a pretty good average player. I don't really know if he's worth $78 million. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see any other random ones we can see. PJ Tucker also signing with the Miami Heat. So again, definitely more win now sort of team being built, which I don't know how much I feel about it. I don't think they're good enough to beat the Nets, maybe even the Lakers, maybe even like a Philly team or anyone like that. I'm not sure, but they're looking good. I just really need to see how much and how good they play together on the court. I like Lowry. I love Jimmy. Let's hope they can get it done. Devontae Graham is now a Pelican, I guess, replacing Lonzo Ball. I don't know how much Zion is paying attention to this team being built, but as of right now, I am not sure how well it's going for them right now. Blake Griffin is also returning to the Brooklyn Nets, which finally the Nets get something going for them. It seems like this entire free agency, a lot of guys are really starting to miss out on some players again. Like Portland didn't do anything for the longest time, and still really haven't. I think they got like Cody Zeller and Ben McLemore in free agency, which yikes. Neil O'Shea, that's very bold of you. Damian Lillard's definitely not happy right now. But also the Nets haven't really been building a team all that well in free agency so far this year. Getting pretty interesting over there in Brooklyn. Rashard Holmes is returning to the Kings, which is kind of cool. Any other ones? A lot of extensions starting to go out. I know we just talked about Jimmy Butler and his extension, but Trae Young and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are also extended on their rookie contracts to max deals over the next, I think, 4 or 5 years. Yeah, both 5 years. Very cool. I love seeing, smaller-ish, Atlanta's not really a small market, but a smaller-ish market guys who are great and have high potential stay. I love seeing that. Really good for those guys. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. I know the Wizards, as of right now, haven't officially signed Spencer Dinwiddie, but it seems like that's almost like a done deal. So Dinwiddie, Bradley Beal, looking kind of good. You still have Kyle Kuzma, KCP, all those guys in Washington. That's a competitive team. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Definitely a competitive team. And also Otto Porter Jr., who was a guy who could have been on a starting role for plenty of teams, get nicely paid, maybe even go to a Nets-Lakers squad to sort of help build a super team. Goes for the veteran minimum to the Golden State Warriors, which is so crazy. I don't know if he's going to be able to start for that team, but he's going there for the veteran minimum. I know for plenty of teams he could easily make 9 to 10 mil a year, but I mean, I guess he's trying to rain chase. He probably likes Golden State. Definitely a good offense to be in on, so I can see why he kind of did it, but very surprising. Yeah, guys, that's really all I can report on so far. I know there are a couple of smaller deals that are going down left, right, and center, but those are very hard to track, and I'm sure you're not very super interested in those ones. I'm just trying to doing a quick little recap video. As of right now, as I'm recording, the latest one I've seen is that Rudy Gay, who was thought again to be a Laker, a Nets pick, maybe even a Bucks, ends up going to the Utah Jazz, which the Jazz are going to be a very competitive team as they were last year. Can they be the number 1 seed again? I'm not sure, but it's looking pretty good for them. So definitely comment down below who you think won out on NBA free agency so far. For me personally, I think it might be the Bulls building up their backcourt. They're going to be good for the next couple years on their backcourt with Caruso, Ball, Kobe White, Zach LaVine. It's looking really good in Chicago. Hopefully they can make another couple of small deals here and there. I'm also very surprised on the Lakers building a pretty decent 3-and-D type of guys on their team. Definitely a lot older. I hope they build a little bit more younger and athletic here the next couple of days. Hopefully that could be nice. Anyone else? I think Miami did an okay job. Again, I think they're just throwing money away just to throw money away. I'm not sure if this entire win now scenario is going to go down for the Heat. But again, we'll have to see. There are a couple of other big time free agents out there that still haven't been signed yet. Obviously Kawhi, who's probably going to be a Clipper, still hasn't resigned. John Collins could be a big piece to, I don't know, the Atlanta Hawks. But if that's still, contract negotiating isn't going well still, he could definitely find his way out to a different team who's going to pay him a lot of money. So, still interesting to see. A lot of pieces still left to fall. I'll be keeping track, and I bet you are too. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video if you do like the video, and subscribe to the channel, doing a giveaway at 7.5k. And I'll be seeing you again in my next video very, 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 very soon.